Welcome to a very special episode of the Beard Owl Podcast. They're all very special anymore. This is the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And we are deep in the throes of our Weird Al Yankovic in 3D turns 40 this year series. And for track 4, I have yet another repeat offender on the show. Mike, I think you're up there with one of the most you've been on the show a lot.
Yeah, I like to think so. I always enjoy coming back. So let's see. I've been at least 4. This is at least 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
I like it. Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Well, you were my co-champion in the one time we did a whole Weird Al trivia tournament. So I mean,
Yes,
we have that together. I don't know, Mike.
You totally carried that team, by the way, but you know that, so it's okay.
It's okay. This is a good segue for you to talk about the things that you do, because I think the last time you and I were on a podcast together, you were hosting some kind of trivia tournament that I won. So you are like my shining star of like winning trivia. So
That is true. Yeah, you were the grand winner of our big hot seat tournament that we did on the pub trivia experience last year. So yeah, with my I can't say I run, because Chris Ligori is really the guy that does most of the work, but we're responsible for the Pub Trivia Experience podcast as well as the Boozy Bracketology podcast. Pub Trivia Experience is your it's your standard kind of trivia podcast, except we don't have any standard. We basically just roll with whatever format suits us in that particular week. Actually, one of our we've now expanded. Now we have this full like PTE network of shows.
Yeah,
and one of the co-hosts of one of the other shows, Brittany Shaw, once described the Pub Trivia Experience as it's like the Hey You Up of trivia podcasts. And I said, I will take that as a compliment.
That's true.
But yeah, so we just do whatever we feel like. And then Boozy Bracketology is we take whatever pop culture or topic, it doesn't have to be pop culture, it can be anything, and we put it into a March Madness style bracket, and we vote on things and we whittle it down until we crown champion. So we've been doing both of those for several years. We have an absolute blast, and very much like this show, they both have an underpinning of we all bring drinks onto the show. So
yeah, I like that.
If you don't mind, I might use that to segue to open my beer.
See, like you're the consummate professional. Yes, please.
I try. So I wanted to stop and get some Red Stripe or something like that.
I thought about that. Would that be insensitive? I was like, so I didn't.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure either. But honestly, for me, I just ran out of time because I ended up working late. So I try to go thematic when I can, but I didn't really get the chance. So I'm kind of trying to shove this beer into a theme. It is the Bro Flow from the Southern Prohibition Brewing Company out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And it is a triple IPA. And so I figured, well, triple is 3, and we're talking about in 3D. So it kind of works.
I like that. I'm fine with that. I have made far more tenuous correlations in my tenure on this show, so I will take that.
At a certain point, you kind of have to. What are you drinking?
I have also a very tenuous situation. It was something I just had in the fridge because I too did not have time to pick something new up for this, but I've had this beer on this show before, probably by virtue of it also being in the fridge at the time. But this is from Goose Island. I love what Goose Island does. This is a hazy IPA. It's called a Hazy Beer Hug. And so I was like, what happens if you walk into a room full of ganja being consumed? It's a bit hazy in there, isn't it?
Yep.
So
that is true.
That's my connection. It's got a nice little bear with sunglasses on the can.
Well, it's a cool bear.
It's a very cool bear. This is not Cool Bear. It's a cool bear. It's a Stephen Cool Bear.
Exactly. If he's never done that, he totally should. That's really funny.
He really should be like, I'm a really cool bear. Oh my God.
That's right.
That's funny. That's funny. So if you didn't read the title of this episode, people, we're talking about Buy Me a Condo, which is track 4 on Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. And boy, boy, is it a turn. This comes right after the Brady Bunch, that beautiful the beautiful parody of Safety Dance by Men Without Hats, or Beaux Sans Chapeaux, which is what I call them in French. I don't think
I love that. It rhymes and everything. That's great.
It does.
That's beautiful. And I'm going to try and remember that and start adopting that too. That's great.
Oh, yes. Beaux Sans Chapeaux. And people who actually speak French, I know it's not like totally right, but like, let me have it, let me have this. I will take that. Yeah, Buy Me a Condo is a style parody of basically reggae as a genre. Specifically Bob Marley, and I guess particularly the Bob Marley song Buffalo Soldier is what it draws the most from.
Yeah.
So I
can see that.
Yeah. That's some stuff. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get into this as we go through it. I'm not the biggest like reggae person. By virtue of a couple of things.
Right there.
I know. And so it's like, I grew up in, the northeast of the country where you don't really encounter much reggae music. There was that one kid in marching band who thought he was cool because he had that one Bob Marley Legend t-shirt. And that was essentially my exposure to reggae until I got to college. And I inadvertently did a portrait of Jimmy Cliff in art class. Because we were just flipping through like magazines, and we were like, quick, find the picture that strikes you the most, and like this is what you're doing, your acrylic portrait of this semester. And so I flipped through, and there was this just Jimmy Cliff kind of looking over his shoulder, smiling, and I didn't know who he was. And so I spent like 3 weeks painstakingly painting a portrait of Jimmy Cliff before I'd even heard a lick of anything Jimmy Cliff sang. And like the last day of that particular module of art class, the art teacher put on Jimmy Cliff, and I was like, so this is the man I've been painting this whole time. So there's a portrait of Jimmy Cliff somewhere in my parents' attic.
Your parents are like mine, never throw anything away. They still have all your old stuff that you did.
Yeah. It's like it's a disconcerting kind of portrait. Not that Jimmy Cliff is disconcerting, but like I wasn't good enough to paint like a very dark-skinned person at the time. So it's like all teeth, and it's I don't know. I did my best, but it's all teeth.
That's all anybody can ask, right?
It's all teeth. Good Lord. And then another reason why reggae I'm just kind of like about is because after moving to Florida, you go anywhere here on a Sunday afternoon and it's reggae Sunday. Like you can't get brunch without hearing some bro do reggae with one of those guitar loopers. And it's just like, I've had enough.
Mm-hmm. I lived in Florida for a long time, and I know right where you're coming from. Absolutely.
But this song is better than that.
It is. I agree. I mean, it's Weird Al, so.
It is Weird Al. So, I went to the Weird Al wiki is my source for all of my facts about these tracks. And
naturally,
the Weird Al wiki for this song is kind of lacking in facts. It's all just explaining what's in the song. Like condo is short for condominium. Cuisinart is a brand of kitchen appliances.
I love it.
The T-shirt with the
alligator on is Lacoste.
Yeah, that's the next one. They were manufactured in America at the time by the Izod Company and were considered a preppy clothing item. This one here you go, Mike. A Tupperware party refers to how Tupperware kitchen products have traditionally been sold.
I love it.
So, I mean, just to shed some even further light on this, a Tupperware salesperson or a, quote, consultant invites friends and neighbors over to their house in hopes that they'll buy the products they have on display. The salesperson is then paid a commission based on how much they sell.
Thank you for explaining that and like a zillion other things.
Painstaking detail.
Work the exact same way.
I know. Similarly, Amway is a multi-level marketing company that distributes products in a way similar to Tupperware.
So I got to ask, does Amway still even exist? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so in some capacity.
I meant to look that up and I completely spaced on it.
I know.
Wait a minute. I'll go check.
Amway, they have a website still. Yes, they are still active as a Amway is short for American Way.
I didn't even know, but that's what I would have guessed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. They health, beauty, and home care. They were founded on November 9th in 1959.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Amway.
Yeah. I mean, they have been investigated in various countries and by institutions such as the Federal Trade Commission for alleged pyramid scheme practices, but they have never been found guilty. Because they've paid tens of millions of dollars to settle these suits. Yeah. So what's Amway up to now? Let's see.
Well, I just did some basic math, and Amway is eligible for Social Security now.
Amway is, yeah.
Started in 59, or they will be in November of this year.
Yeah. They will be in November of this year. Yeah. They were ranked by Forbes as the 42nd largest privately held company in the United States in 2018.
Did you just say 42nd?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans.
Yeah. Gotta love it, right? That's the answer. It's the answer. I'm more of a Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency girl myself, if I have to.
I can see that. I can see that.
If I'm thinking with the books. I like to drive holistically, right? It's like,
Yep.
You're not sure where you are. Like, follow somebody who looks like they know where they're going.
You never know where the road's going to take you.
Right. But George Harrison has a song, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there."
That's right.
So, oh, gosh. Yeah. So we got Amway. They are still a thing. And Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
They are a manufacturer of whirlpool bathtubs and hot tubs with massaging water jets. And apparently the term jacuzzi is often used to refer to hot tubs in general.
I was actually just about to make that point that I'm fairly certain that I was a grown adult before I learned that jacuzzi was a brand and not just a thing.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing you want to lose in your jacuzzi is a Kleenex or a Band-Aid. Because they're all brand names.
They're all brands, exactly.
Okay, here's one that'll get you. Ganja is Jamaican slang for marijuana.
Now, actually, is it specifically Jamaican?
No,
I didn't realize it.
I don't know. That's just what the Weird Al wiki says.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought it was general slang. I didn't know what its specific origin.
Well, let's see.
But that's cool.
I'm gonna Google ganja.
So, and of course, when I heard this song for the first time, I was probably 12. Had no clue what ganja was. I didn't really have a point of reference for most of this song, to be honest.
No, me either.
I think that the shirt with the alligator on was about it, because I think I owned one at one point in time.
Yeah, my dad.
And so I was like,
several.
oh yeah, that's a thing.
Huh. Ganja is one of the oldest and most commonly used synonyms for marijuana. Its usage in English dates to before 1689. It is borrowed from the Hindu Urdu term ganja, a name for cannabis used as a drug, which is derived from the Sanskrit ganja, referring to, quote, a powerful preparation from cannabis sativa. One academic source places the date of introduction of ganja in Jamaica at 1845. So it became, I guess it's the most common used term for marijuana in the West Indies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about that? We're just digging in here. And the last fact here on the Weird Al Wiki is Rastaman refers to someone who follows Rastafari, a Jamaican religion. Well, now, see, here's the thing. I didn't even know what Rasta was. Rastafarianism. I don't know any of the tenets of it. So this is the one thing that I learned a little bit about. So Rastafarianism is a Jamaican religion that holds that Ethiopian emperor Haile Selassie, who died in 1975, was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And reggae stars Bob Marley and Peter Tosh were both famous Rastafarians.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
I did not. I mean, I knew about their affiliation with Rastafarianism, but I did not know that was what they believed. That's really interesting.
I didn't know what they believed either. I think that's pretty interesting.
I know more about the Pastafarians than I do about the Rastafarians because of the flying spaghetti monster thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's delightful. That's delightful. Oh gosh. Oh golly gee. So, Mike.
So, Lauren.
Yes. Now we slightly shift gears into, now that we've got these facts out of the way, these very interesting and enlightening facts that we have uncovered about this song. And we talk about 3 things that we each think really work about the song Buy Me a Condo. And I've been basically just kind of volleying back and forth on these things. And it can be anything, just something that you like, something that tickles your fancy, or something that you think like, wow, this has like been done really, really well. Whatever, you know, and I figured you go first and we'll just kind of bounce back and forth.
I mean, the first thing that I had written down when I was going back and listening to the song is very obvious, and you kind of mentioned how much of a left turn it is after the first 3 songs on the album, but it is a pitch perfect reggae style parody. And if you really think about it in terms of the chronology of the Weird albums, it's really the first style parody.
Yeah.
And it nails it. I mean,
yes.
Again, I'm not huge into the reggae genre, but every reggae song that I've heard, this very much captures that sound. And it sounds like, you know, if you just kind of ignore the lyrics and just listen to the sound, it would slot right in perfectly with all of those songs.
Yes, I could not agree more. And I think that that is in line with a lot of things that get said here often about a lot of Weird Al tracks. It was like, man, if this was sung by somebody else and had different lyrics, it would fit right in whatever spot it's supposed to be. And that speaks to like something that clearly this is his. I know the self-titled debut album exists, and I've said this before, but this is like his first proper album, right? Doing all the stuff that we come to know Weird Al for doing.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the fact that he's got such a pitch perfect reggae style parody on like track 4. Where it's like, oh, this is what this guy's all about, you know? And
exactly.
Yeah, I saw him do this on the Unfortunate Return of the Ridiculously Self-Indulgent Ill-Advised Vanity Tour. Mm-hmm. And we went with one of my buddies, Kenny was there. He's our karaoke DJ.
Nice.
He came along with us, and he's a big reggae guy. Like he's big into reggae. And so we were so excited when that song came on because he hadn't heard it before. And to see this guy who's like, I would say he's a casual Weird Al fan at best. He just went because it was like, dude, we've got an extra ticket and it's VIP. Like you get to meet Weird Al. Like just come and fill the seat. You're going to have a good time, right?
Yeah.
When Buy Me a Condo started, this guy's face was like, he didn't know what was going on, but he was like vibrating about how
I love it.
This is exactly like, he was like, I didn't know Weird Al did reggae. And it's like,
So he'd never heard the song before.
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so like, that's absolutely speaks to your point that it's exactly what it's supposed to be, because this guy who just loves reggae, he's like, well, by golly.
Yeah.
It's great.
And I mean, when I'm thinking about this is probably the first reggae song I ever heard.
Me for sure.
I mean, if you're really breaking it down, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
a lot of things there that the first time I heard them was Weird Al.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I like you. That's why you come on this show so much, because it's like nope. Your basis for a lot of things is Weird Al, just like mine is.
Oh yeah.
So I have 2 things that I think work that definitely kind of can slot themselves under what you just said, but they drill down a little deeper into it. So I'm going to start with my first one is the bass line throughout the song. What I have been trying to do with listening to the tracks, especially for this series, is really trying to focus on what the different instrumentation is happening.
Oh yeah.
And so one of my several listens through of this song today, I really tried to focus on the bass line, and it does exactly what a reggae bass line does. Like it's not simple and it's not over complicated, but it bounces around just enough that you get that feel that you're supposed to have. And I would argue that if you pulled that out, this song wouldn't sound anywhere close to as good as it sounds. And this is coming from, like those reggae people that have things on a loop. That's one guy with a guitar trying to do reggae. You can't get a bass line like this. And so it's missing that layer, but this has that layer that is absolutely necessary.
No, that's a great point. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I like the bass line. I like it.
I've recently, with my little side music project that I have with a couple friends.
Talk about it.
None of us play bass, but we needed a bass player, so I kind of was like, you guys are both better guitar players than I am, so I'll take on the bass. So I've found myself a lot more keying into bass lines on songs when I'm listening to them than I used to, and I 100% agree with what you said, because that the way that bass line underpins the song and kind of focuses the groove of the song, because really the guitar part in typical reggae fashion is just that little ding ding. It's that kind of basic thing. So the bass line really does propel the song forward. So I completely agree.
So I know you didn't mention it at the beginning, but did you want to talk at all about your music project? This might be the audience for it a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that segue now. Yeah,
let's do it.
I did not talk about it before, but so I have a band with some friends of mine from high school, and we are called the Dadicorns. That's DADICORNS, because we all have daughters. Anyway, about 2 years ago, maybe more, one of us was like, you know what? We're all fathers of young kids now. And one of the guys has a teenager too, but it's like, we all have young kids. Let's write songs about our experiences being parents and just see where it goes. And we loved it so much that we recorded we got in a recording studio year and a half ago, recorded 6 songs.
Yeah.
I don't know where 2 came from. But anyway, we recorded 6 songs over the span of 2 days. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. And got it mastered and all that kind of stuff. And we released it as an EP. It's called Sanity is Waning. And it's out on every streaming platform that we're aware of. There's probably some that we're not aware of, but it's certainly on Spotify and stuff like that. And it's mostly comedic. There's some serious moments to the music as well, but it's all over the place because it's highs and lows and everything associated with parenting. But I think non-parents can appreciate it too. It's fun music. It's whatever pops into our head, and we've actually already got studio time booked for a second EP because we've just enjoyed it so much. So I don't know what you would find on Google, but you can, like I said, you can certainly find us on streaming platforms, and we have a Bandcamp, which is dadicornsmusic.bandcamp.com. So yeah, if it's, come check us out. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably like music. So it's right there. We're by no means professionals, but I think we put out a pretty good first album, and we're looking forward to doing more. So it's one of those things that's just been super exciting and a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've loved everything that I've heard y'all do. Like, seriously, I have those moments where it's just so cool to me to know people that are doing such cool things, And so, like,
absolutely,
I hear it and like I have that like, oh, that's my friend. That's so cool. I have that moment.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, folks, if you're listening to this, if you have kids, or if you, like me, are a former kid, you'll appreciate stuff that's happening here too. I've actually taken to starting sentences as as a former baby, I'm offended. Like.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's great.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for mentioning that, and people definitely go check it out.
No, absolutely. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I kind of forgot we were talking about the podcast. I kind of forgot I wanted to mention that too. So
yeah, well, see, I remember things. I know what's up.
Absolutely.
I'm a pro.
You are
not really.
Consummate professional, as you.
Yes, 2 consummate professionals.
That's right. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that as we drink our beers.
Yeah, actually, we're on to our second thing that we think works about Buy Me a Condo. Hit me with it.
it. The second thing that I wrote down is that the way that it is such a critique of the culture of its time, and it does it in. It doesn't do it in a way that beats you over the head. It just, because when I was listening to this as a kid, all of it just kind of made sense. It didn't, like, the way that he was contrasting this idea of, like, for example, working in a field, like actually doing something, like, that is meat. I'm going to sound off nasty when I say this, and I don't mean to, but like working in a field, like, toiling and stuff like that, something that has a little more meaningful, a little more meat behind it, to doing something like selling Amway products, which is basically a bunch of stuff that nobody needs. Like,
It's a pyramid scheme.
Right. I mean, it is the contrast that again, as a kid, I had no real frame of reference for a lot of that. But as an adult, and looking back at what I remember of the 80s, which I was alive for most of it, still I don't remember much. It just strikes me as very emblematic of the era. And I think that it's, but I like the way that it does it, where it's just like, imagine coming from an island nation where, where there's one type of culture, and then coming to American culture, and it's something completely different.
Yes. There are completely different criteria for what you can and should be proud of. Right.
Right.
And I absolutely, that dichotomy, that just like, it's a complete contrast. It's so wild. And yeah, I didn't appreciate it as a kid. I don't think I fully appreciated this song until maybe 10-ish years ago.
Yeah.
Because musically it's not one of my favorite genres, so like it's a skippable moment for me. But when I really sat back and listened to it, I was like, well, this is just gosh darn clever. Like, this is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And it sets the tone. There's a lot happening on this album that is very critical of the world into which it was born.
Very, very much so. I've always said that. I think we actually had this conversation before, when we were discussing Weird Al's debut album, and ranking all the songs and everything like that. I remember mentioning this when we were discussing Happy Birthday, actually, about like how that was like Weird Al's most punk song. But Weird Al's, he's a punk in a way. Like, he has a punk spirit about him, in that, sort of rebellion against what society, the frames that society tries to put around things and stuff like that. A lot of that comes out in this album.
Yeah, and definitely this song for sure. I think this is a good segue into my point too, because I wrote one thing down because there was a broader point I wanted to make about it.
Okay.
Literally on my sheet of paper here, I just have the words weenie barbecue. And the reason I wrote down weenie barbecue is because if you really listen to the song, the rest of it is done with that slightly affected Jamaican-esque accent.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes, gonna have the neighbors over for a weenie barbecue. That's Weird Al right there. Like, that's the line where he's winking so hard at you. Like, he busts through the facade of the character that he's portraying in the song, and he's like, this is ridiculous.
Exactly. It's like a fourth wall break of music.
Yeah, and it's like, it's overt and subtle at the same time, and I think it plays so well into the commentary that you had mentioned, that it's like the whole song is critical of what's happening, but he's especially like, you left this place, this whole lifestyle that definitely probably has more value and respect for humanity and the world around you, to have the neighbors over for a weenie barbecue. Like, so
yeah. And wall-to-wall carpeting is like the quintessence of living, and all of a sudden to you, like, yeah, exactly. It's a total 180. And it's like trying to explain that to like just a native Jamaican would probably be like, I don't see how they would have understood that at that time.
I know, and it's nuts. It's like, I understand condos. I get it. I get it. But if you think about it, like you are buying something and I guess you own it sort of,
Sort of, yeah.
but it's like you don't own the building,
Right.
you know? Like that is one of the it doesn't make sense to me. Like real estate that's part of other things. Like how can you own part of a building? Like what happens, you know what I mean? I just like who owns the building if you own part like I don't know. I any realtors out there, can you explain the logic of condo real estate to me? Because I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, you know, because I'm like, okay, I've rented an apartment and then I bought a house. You know? It's like
Yep, same.
I own this building. the whole building. Right. So, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's like coming from a place where like the land is the thing, like working the fields and like the vast expanse of stuff. And then to have the dream really be wall to wall carpeting in a part of a building that you own, sort of with your food processor.
Right, exactly.
It's like, all right. I mean, I have an excellent food processor. I am very proud of my small kitchen appliances, but that's not the dream.
I'm fairly certain mine is a Cuisinart, to be honest. I could be wrong.
That's great. I love that. And that's one of those things. I didn't know what a Cuisinart was. Like literally, if I see Cuisinart on anything, my brain goes to this song. Come on, buy me a Cuisinart.
Yep.
Like, so it's one of those core memories.
It is funny with this song because there are several things that will bring me back to this song that I listened to without any frame of reference as a young lad, but it formed like the first time that I'd ever heard of certain things like Cuisinart and Amway products and different things like that. And because of that, when I hear those things again, that's where my brain takes me to.
Yeah, me same.
Still, after
hard
all this
same.
time.
Hard same. Like, you know, there's so many condos in Florida. I've got friends that own condos. Like, if you're listening to this, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm making fun of your real estate investment, I guess. But like, literally, I was like, oh yeah, no, he bought a condo in that one place, and I was like, gonna buy me a condo.
Yep.
Like, that's my brain.
But also condos are a lot more, I feel like, normalized now. I don't know if that's the right word, but
I guess.
I think it was a little bit of a different thing in the 80s than it is now. Like a lot more people own condos now than did back then. The condominium is sort of taken on a life of its own since that time.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, they that is when they were coming to kind of be, was then. Right. What is the nomenclature is not the word. What's the history of the word condominium? Like where's the root of that? I
do not have an answer to that question.
Condominium.
I have a dirty joke that I could make, but
so let's see.
Yep.
I'm trying to see.
Wait a minute. I'll go check.
Yeah, I'm checking again. Etymology is the word I was looking for. What is the etymology of condominium?
Great question.
I was like, what is that word? I love the etymology of things, which is what I needed to know. Condominium is an invented Latin word, meaning, okay.
First of all, aren't all Latin words really invented when you get down to the...
Aren't all words invented when you get down to it?
Exactly.
It is an invented Latin word formed by adding the prefix con, meaning together, to the word
dominium.
To dominium, meaning ownership. Its meaning, therefore, is joint dominion or co-ownership, which I guess makes sense. There's like who
dovetails right with what you were just saying.
It does. Yeah. So condominia is the Latin plural of condominium. Oh yes. The condominia. So yeah,
this may be the first time in history that anyone has actually used the word condominia.
Right, right.
Whoever says that.
That's great. Oh gosh. So condominia originally referred to territories over which two or more sovereign powers shared joint sovereignty. For example, from 1818 to 1846, Oregon country was a condominium over which both the United States and Great Britain shared joint sovereignty until the Oregon Treaty resolved the issue by splitting the territory along the 49th parallel and each country gaining sole sovereignty of one side.
That was literally a Learned League question today.
No way.
I'm not even kidding. So that'll date this episode to the exact day that we recorded it, but I am not even kidding. There was a Learned League question today about the Oregon Treaty and the 49th parallel and which island it had to go around in order to maintain it in British territory.
Well, that was one of the first condominia.
That's wow.
So
there's a synergy to the universe that I just felt in that moment.
I love it. That's
crazy.
That's wild. I love it. That's great. That's great. So now I know the etymology of the word condominium.
That's really cool.
Yeah. People see, look at that. Oh, I love it.
We're educating people.
You're
You're educating people.
Well,
I'm drinking.
No, so I'm drinking too.
Well, no, but
I have my one small pocket that I like to educate people on. We have one more thing to talk about what we think works. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is a lyric that I, again, had no context for as a child listening to this song, but it's my favorite lyric in the song now. And it's gonna sell me Bob Marley records, gonna buy me some Jackson Browne. And it's like, that is just, to me, this perfect thing of like, I was like cool and now I'm just gonna be like some lame suburban, person. And not that I don't, loves me some Jackson Browne. I don't mean to be dissing it, but it's like Jackson Browne, I guess, just in that context is just emblematic of, I guess, safe or, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
And it's even fun. It's even funnier actually because I have a very loose connection to Jackson Browne. One of my mother's best friends dated Jackson Browne in the late 60s, early 70s, which is all like for like, they went out a couple times, but
so she didn't stay just a little bit
other
longer?
funny association that I have with him.
That's amazing.
Which is even funnier. Yeah. So, but just every time I hear that song, I just get a chuckle because I'm like, when I first heard this song, had no idea who either Bob Marley or Jackson Browne were. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like Bob Marley and Jackson Browne, like they're both musicians, but otherwise could you get any more different?
You can't. It's like going from One Love to Lawyers in Love. Like that's a hard turn.
Perfect.
Hard turn.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild stuff. Wild
Yeah.
and
I just think
wacky
that
stuff.
lyric's so funny.
It's a great lyric, and it plays into, again, like the whole thing. It's he so clearly paints this, like, the person singing the song, he's singing about his dream, but the song itself is like, why is this it's asking, why is this the thing that people want?
Right. In a way, it's sad almost that like this person is trying to be, it's like it's a reverse rebellion in a way. They're rebelling against everything that they like grew up with, but to be like, this completely like, I don't know.
It's the Alex P. Keaton of songs.
I love that. I love that analogy. That's great.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, how do you rebel against rebellion? You become a yuppie.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. I've got one last point that I think works about this song. And it plays in again to you talking earlier about how this is such a perfect reggae style parody. And Bermuda's drums. It's got that flat, like, reggae sound. Like there's no reverb to the drums at all. It's just like, it's just doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And Bermuda never fails. He can do anything.
That's the whole band, though. I mean, it's not. You've talked about it so frequently on this shows, but it deserves repeating yet again. The band as a whole can do no wrong. They managed to think of the sheer variety of genres that band has managed to cover over 40 years, and it's the same band. The new guy joined in 92. Yeah, the new guy.
I know.
Like, that's insane.
I love it. That speaks so highly to, first of all, how talented they are and how much, they believe in what this weird guy's doing and how
absolutely
how great he must be to work with. So
yeah.
that's where we're at. And I think this is now our time for me to throw it over to some advertisements so that we can keep the lights on here at the Beard Owl Podcast.
Advertisements.
And we'll come back on the flip side with anything that we think maybe doesn't work or maybe, didn't hold up or something like that. Just stuff that could be better about the song. But that's why we put it after these ads. We have fun at the beginning and then, listen to the ads and then come back and we'll be right back.
I'm Richie, a.k.a. Midnight Agent Raw.
I'm Devin, aka Special Delivery Dev.
We're the Super Media Bros Podcast. And each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
pro wrestling,
and much more. Check us out at supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts. Shades on.
We're off.
Hey, I'm Hansel Zarin from the BFYTW podcast, here with my buddy Stevie.
Hey, what's up?
And Augie.
Hey.
And we're here to, first of all, categorically deny the rumors going around that all we've been doing lately is copying other podcasts. This is categorically untrue, and we deny it completely. Having said that, please continue to enjoy the Beard Owl podcast. But when you're done, please check out our new project, the Weird Ale podcast, where we pair an ale with a Weird Al song. Pretty sure that hasn't been done before.
Weren't those great ads?
Oh my goodness. Look, I know that they're localized, but I can almost guarantee that when I download this episode and listen to it, at least a couple of those ads are for casinos.
Nice.
Which is super weird because gambling is not legal in the state of Alabama, but I get those are the ads that I get when I listen to the Beard Owl podcast. So there you go.
Fun. Yeah, we don't really have all that many casinos here in Florida. We just went to one. We were in Tampa. We were in we went to Clearwater.
Did you go to the Seminole?
With the Hard Rock one?
Yeah,
yes,
the Hard Rock.
Hard
Rock.
Yeah. We went there because we were in St. Pete for the Royal Rumble. And
yes.
we went to the casino before that because my husband Russ he lived in Detroit for a long time and there's casinos out the wazoo up there, so that was kind of his what are we going to do today? Go to the casino. So anytime we're anywhere near-ish a casino, it's like, well, we got to stop in and do something. The man knows his way around a slot machine because I walked out of there. Long story short, I just got a new dishwasher. Thank you, Seminole Hard Rock.
Oh, wow. There you go. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would get ads for casinos. That's funny. That's interesting. I like knowing that though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. In case you're ever curious, supposedly, here's the other thing too, is it has something to do with like things that you've Googled recently or, sometimes it feeds into that or whatever. Cause of course, they're collecting data on you and blah, blah, blah.
Always.
I'm not a gambler, so I have no idea why it would draw on that particular thing for me, but go figure.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it's because of all the bracket stuff that you're involved in.
Oh, that's interesting. I had not thought of that. That actually makes a lot of sense. Huh.
And they're like, this bro likes a bracket.
That's there you go. That is true. I do like a bracket. I have a great many brackets on my computer. So yes.
Yo, dog. I hear you like brackets. Do you want some brackets of your brackets? Y'all should do a bracket. Like once you have that many done.
We have actually kicked around the idea of like for our 5th anniversary or something, doing a meta episode where it was like best boozy bracketology bracket
yeah.
Or worst boozy bracketology decision because our wrongness is part of our charm, as we like to say, and everything.
Yeah,
so
I like that. I think that would be a beautiful exhibit. You see what I did there? Yo, dog. I hear like brackets. You want some brackets on your brackets? Pimp my ride. Pimp my bracket. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things that don't work, that joke. Right. Anyway, stuff that we think doesn't necessarily work about the song Buy Me a Condo. And since I let you go first for stuff that does work, I'll kick it off with things that I think maybe don't work. And it's not really the song's fault. and I feel like this is probably going to be a bit of a conversation because I had a moment with this song that deeply upset me with the fact that like it had to happen in the first place, because apparently on the again the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent ill-advised vanity tour, this song was making an appearance. And either before or after the song, Weird Al would say something along the lines of, "Oh, here comes the cultural appropriation portion of the show," or "thus concludes the cultural appropriation portion of the show." And that didn't sit well with me. The fact that he felt like he had to say it, I didn't think that was funny that he said that, because for me, I don't think it's cultural appropriation, right? It's, if you really listen to this song lyrically, like we said in the, earlier in this episode, he is by no means poking any fun at the reggae genre or Jamaicans or that culture at all. If anything, he's making fun of white people, white yuppie people. Okay?
100%. He's being respectful, in my opinion, of the culture.
And so I didn't like the fact that he had to say that, because it had never occurred to me. And then, just over time, and then also in preparing for this episode, I go to YouTube, look at this song up and stuff, and I found myself spinning in comment sections, and that was a bad news bears for me, because
never read the comments.
I know. And it was like, boy, that did not age well, and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, if it didn't age well because of the cultural references to like 80s pop culture, kind of thing. It's not the reggae-ness of it, right? That's not what's wrong with. There's nothing wrong with this song. And I think the fact that people's gut reaction is to be like, oh, that didn't age well. Weird Al couldn't, and the fact that he couldn't put a song like this out now also upsets me, because this is so smart. It's so smart.
Right.
And so I had to put that in this half of the show, because it's not something that doesn't work about the song, but it's something that makes the song not work today, and it's not the song's fault.
Absolutely. Agree. Completely agree. And I'm actually glad you mentioned it, because it's a kind of funny that you mentioned it, because when I was thinking of what I wanted to talk about for this piece, I had the exact same thought. But I felt like, I don't know if it's I don't remember if we've discussed it before, if I've just come across it, just through my various other wanderings and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about that for the precise reason of wanting to make the exact point that you just made, of it's not really, I hate to say it this way, but the song doesn't work if he doesn't put on the affectation.
Right.
And it's not in any way demeaning.
No.
It's just representative, and again, to my mind, respectful, because it's like, why would you want to, the core underpinning of the song is, why would you want to trade that for this boring thing?
Exactly.
So,
and I wasn't gonna say, I got too deep today, and I got mad because I read something that said, this is basically vocal blackface, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right?
Like, are you kidding? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know who you're talking about? Like,
exactly.
So
I know. Deep breaths. Zen. Home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had the exact same thought, and I figured it would come up at some point, which is why I didn't choose that as my thing. But I'm glad you did, because I assumed we would address it, and I'm glad that we got the opportunity to address it, because I just think it's unfortunate that the song can't be taken at face value for what it is, because people are reading into it a little too much, I guess, or I don't know if reading into it's too much, not the right word, not the right phrasing, but
they're not reading into it enough.
Or that's actually the better way to put it. Exactly. You're not getting the full subtext of what's going on here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's not unlike how apparently now before you can stream Blazing Saddles on, I believe it's HBO, there's a disclaimer, and it's like, bro, have we come so far that we've gone too far in that we can't appreciate nuance?
Not at all. Exactly. Well, Blazing Saddles is one of those movies that people love to shine a light on and say, like, you couldn't make that movie anymore. And it's like, but the movie is lampooning the very thing that you're that you're now offended by. Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you not get that?
It's not being offensive. It's right. Exactly.
But it is being offensive, but it's being offensive to make the point of how stupid that whole like view, so much of that viewpoint is and everything.
And it's the same with this song. And it's just,
yeah.
I knew that this was going to, because I knew that you and I were on the same page about this. So I knew that when I wrote this down, I was like, Mike is going to agree with me 100%. And we're just going to be like, I know, right? Like, we're going to get like
absolutely
mad about the same thing. And I don't know, like, it's a shame for me, like, because comedy should push boundaries. Comedy should push buttons, right?
Yeah,
and comedy
absolutely
should make you think. And if you're offended by smart comedy like Blazing Saddles or this song or anything that Weird Al does, like if your gut is to be like, whoa, then take a step back, because like you're missing something. You're missing an integral piece of the puzzle. And I read John Cleese posted something on Twitter, which I'm still calling it.
Me too.
Recently.
Yep.
I have to find it because I was like, oh my God, this speaks to me so deeply. And it speaks to exactly what's happening here. There was Monty Python, Eric Idle and John Cleese were having like this whole thing happen on Twitter not too long ago. I was not commenting on that. But
I think I saw the same thing, so I think I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
I was like, this speaks to me. John Cleese posted just, last week, let me explain. The literal-minded are limited in their understanding. They don't comprehend metaphor or comic exaggeration or simile or a change of context, which is the essence of jokes, or irony. So people who are not playing with a full deck miss a lot.
I didn't see that one specifically, but he's made some other comments on old Monty Python sketches where it's just like, people are now just completely missing the irony or the point of the whole thing. Yeah.
So anybody who's offended by Buy Me a Condo, I'm just going to say that this is my show. This is about Weird Al. And if you've gotten this far, you probably agree with me. So I'm just going to put it out there anyway. If you're offended by Buy Me a Condo, like, check yourself, because you're missing something.
Yep.
Anyway, that's not even something that doesn't work about this song. That's something that doesn't work about the world in which we live that has to do with this song. So there I am.
But it addresses something. I think it's still important to bring up, because it addresses something that some people might think doesn't work about this song. But if you just dig a little deeper again into what's really going on beneath the surface of the song, you'll see that it's not, it's not, as you said, what did you say? Musical blackface or whatever. Like, it's not that.
I know, my God.
At all.
That's literally out there. And I'm like, like clutched my pearls. I was like, how dare you say that about Alfred?
And to say that about Weird Al, exactly. Of all people, come on.
No.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, what do you think doesn't work?
So, well, again, like that was mine. I had a feeling that was going to get out there at some point. So mine ended up being much more tame.
Great. That's what we end on.
Then it's, and even then it's not necessarily something that doesn't work about the song per se, because I do think it fits the essence of the parody of the style. And it also makes the song into even more of an earworm. But I actually thought about it even more after listening to the Midnight Star episode that you did with was it Rob?
Yeah, he's great.
And I think he was the one that made the point about how Al switches up the chorus in Midnight Star every time and adds a new line and stuff like that. And the same thing doesn't happen with this song, really. Like, it's the same chorus over and over again. So it starts to get a little repetitive towards the end. Even he kicks they kick up the band kicks up the music and makes it a little more like, propulsive and driving towards the end, but still like as you're like, yep, okay, I get it. Buy me a condo, buy me, like you feel like you're singing when you're singing along, and it is very sing-alongable too. But after a while, you're just like, oh, it's another rendition of the same chorus. So
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking a little bit because with Al, I think for the most part, that's kind of what you have to do. But
Yeah.
that was my main thing.
That was your main thing. Counterpoint. What if that was done intentionally to mimic
But that's
the repetitiveness of the yuppie lifestyle? Right?
I didn't think about that.
We need
Now you got me
barbecue.
thinking yet again on another different level.
Layers, man.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm gonna draw a comparison to much later in Al's career, but it's almost like when he throws "Get Lucky" into the polka, and he just like he repeats it so many times.
27 times.
It is 20. I was thinking it was actually 27 times. I have in all this time I think I've heard it was 27 times, but I've never actually sat there and counted. But but it's that thing of like it's this song. Yep, it's repetitive. Oh, yep. He's still going. Yep. Oh, yep. He's still going. Yeah. So oh my gosh. Yeah, you might actually be right about the
Who knows? I mean,
who knows? But
I put nothing past him. I feel like everything's intentional.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm an overthinker type of person in general. I think podcasts probably by and large lend themselves to those personality types. So, and I'm sure, and I know how much of a perfectionist Weird Al is. So I'm sure that there was those types of thoughts that were put into all of this.
I bet. Well, I love that. And we're just going to end this with our ranking segment. And I'm going to tell you, my ranking has changed based on our conversation.
Oh, okay.
I came into this with a 20 out of 27.
Okay.
Because the song is good, but I was like, it's just not my favorite and blah, 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 blah. But then as we got into talking about this, you and I together peeled back some layers of brilliance, and I was like, oh, I can't not appreciate this. So I'm gonna bump it up to a 23.
Okay.
Out of 27, based on our conversation here.
Right.
I like it. I think I appreciate it more than I did before we sat down.
Okay, that's good. So I as I mentioned before we started recording, I thought a lot about, first of all, how to approach the 1 to 27 ranking.
I know, it's wild. It's a swing.
Right off the bat, I pretty much threw out single digits because I don't think there's I couldn't think of a single Weird Al song that I was like, that I thought merited single digits. You and me, we're on the same wavelength. I celebrate the man's entire discography.
Mm-hmm.
There's no skippable tracks. I find something to appreciate about everything. Every time I do a full listen through, and I listen start to finish every single album. That's kind of just how my brain works. For the most part, I do that a lot. So I then started to think of it in the context of where I would rank it in the album.
Cool.
So I was like, okay, I'll give myself more like a range of like a 27 to a 10, 11, 12 type of thing. And it's actually really funny because I went back and looked. I was like, what? When you messaged me like, hey, we're doing this. Here's a couple of songs that you could talk about, and you had no way of knowing it, but the 4 songs that you sent me were what I would consider my 4 least favorite songs on the album.
That's funny.
And I still love all of them. They're just my 4 least favorite songs on the album. And so I was like, of those 3, I felt like, okay, Buy Me a Condo was probably my favorite of those 4. So, okay. So then I was like, okay, if then I consider Buy Me a Condo the 8th greatest song on this album, if you break down the spectrum of, that range, where would that land? So that's how I wound up with about a 17.
Okay. I like it. I love it.
That was the super long, like, thought process that I put into winding up with 17.
So we averaged back to 20, which was my original score.
Yeah, that's right. There you
Okay,
go.
there we
Perfect.
go. That's fair.
I'll take it. Yeah. No, this is a it's still a great song, and it is one of those songs that, years later, it still got stuck in my head. It's one of those songs that I would still remember, even though, it wasn't one of my go-tos back in, when I was young and first getting into Weird Al. It was, I would listen to it, but it wasn't one of the songs that I would actively seek out on the cassette tape, because that's the way we had to roll back in the day. But
Yeah.
but it still stuck with me, even though, and I grew to appreciate it more growing into an adult, as we discussed. So.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the charms of this song. Oh, well, Mike, you were just as delightful as I had anticipated you being. I feel like,
Likewise.
thank you. This entire In 3D Turns 40 series, I have so many banger guests lined up for it. Like, there is not, everybody's going to bring something like fun and unique and cool to their particular episode. I'm so jazzed about it. And I said to myself, I was like, man, I got a stacked top 4, like first 4 tracks. And then I looked at who's next and I was like, oh man. And then I looked at the whole album and I was like, no, man, this whole thing is stacked. Like everything's going to be great. So I'm not overselling, but this is going to be fun.
Oh no, it is. It is crazy though, in a little bit, to think about that this album's turning 40 though.
I know. It's wild. But, this gives me a lot. I've talked about this. It gives me a lot of fodder, because between 84, 85, 86, he put an album out each year. So I've got something I can keep doing. And then we've got, other random anniversaries that are occurring. So we got a lot of fun, different new ways to talk about these songs. So, Mike, I know you talked a bit about it at the beginning, but close up talking about what's happening at the pub trivia experience and the boozy bracketology.
So let's see. At the pub trivia experience, we're just finishing up at the time of recording our foodie trivia tournament that we did, which it will be over by the time this episode airs. So, but go back and check that out. And honestly, like, as I said at the beginning, we don't have really a set format. So I think we're going to probably delve into a couple other random episodes that we've recorded here and there. That's going to come out over the next couple weeks. And, we're going to see where it goes. We've got a lot of different ideas about exactly what we want to do. I know that we're really looking to do a Simpsons trivia coming up. That one I'm looking forward to, because I'm going to be involved in that one as a guest. So that'll be fun. And as far as boozy bracketology is concerned, actually, Lauren, you'll appreciate this, and this will be going on smack dab in the middle of when this episode airs. We are in the month of March doing Best Billy Joel Song.
Ooh.
And we had already recorded that one a while back, but it was slated for later in the year. But then with Billy Joel suddenly releasing a new song, we were like, this just became a lot more timely. So we moved it up in the schedule. So that's going to be going on in the month of March.
Oh, delightful.
But overall, we also have we're doing a lot of best 80s movie mini brackets across a bunch of genres. And then those are going to all get shoved up into the mega bracket at the end, where we determine what is truly the greatest 80s movie of all time. We will almost definitely have a controversial conclusion. So that's what we live for. We believe in strong drinks and strong opinions. And it's the opinions part that really drives us, because so many people have so many thoughts, and getting to interact with people and share those disparate opinions. I'm personally of the mind, I love where everybody's coming from, and getting to see the different takes on everything. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'll be curious what you think about the Billy Joel one actually when it airs. So.
I will too. And I've thought about this, and because we've had conversations about boozy bracketology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I've come to the conclusion that, as an individual, if I am to participate in boozy bracketology, it's going to need to be something that I enjoy, but don't care about like deeply on like a personal and emotional level, right?
Absolutely,
something that because I have strong opinions, but I think when opinion gets tied like deep into my feelings, that would be a problem. Like, I don't think I could have participated in the Billy Joel bracket.
Right.
Well,
I didn't either. I'm the host.
Okay. Like, yeah. I couldn't, I don't know if I could have even been involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something I can listen to because I can yell at people without them hearing me.
And that's half the fun is listening in your car or wherever. I mean, if you want to listen to it in your office, if you go into work or whatever, I completely encourage that. But I just warn you that expletives might fly out of your mouth,
Oh yeah, I've screamed
unbidded, like they
I've
just come out.
Screamed at
sometimes.
all of you,
Yeah.
many times. So yeah, it's a fun, definitely a fun listen and a fun show, and I think it's really cool. And I admire the time commitment that goes into putting those brackets together as well. Because I'm very much a like, okay, you got an hour to sit down kind of person. Then this is like, do you have 10 hours over the course of a month and a half? I'm like, I don't know. Do I?
It is, and hat tip
Hat
to all of our panelists that come on and join us for that, because we have an absolute blast putting it on, but it can be hard sometimes to find a bunch of people who are both that passionate about a subject and willing to put in that amount of time, because that's been the nice thing about the 80s mini brackets, is that we can kind of break it down a little bit. Okay, this is only one night, 2.5 hours worth of recording, and you can knock out the entire subgenre of 80s movies. So
yeah, that's cool. It's admirable and it's fun. It's definitely a fun listen. So what y'all are doing, I have stickers for both of those shows on my laptop.
Excellent.
So
lovely.
Anyway, Mike, you are delightful as always. You are welcome back here anytime. I will be reaching out to you again soon, I'm sure, because you're very
I love
fun.
it.
And
No, thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
hooray and huzzah! All right, well, people, we're gonna come back at you again next time with probably the next track on this album, which is Polka's on 45.
Polka's on 45. Yeah, I was gonna say the first ever polka.
The first ever polka. What do we think about it? Let's find out next time. All right, people. Goodbye.